And how's everybody today? I'm sure everybody has seen me up my videos and stuff like that. My name is Tommy Long. I am the exterior shade guru on the internet. That's my name everywhere. So if you see me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook groups, or even on YouTube, that's where you're going to see, and that's my handle on there. So today I wanted to discuss measuring for I turned off. Hold on. Okay. What I wanted to discuss today is measuring. So I want to go over a specific topic, which is an inside mount or between the jamb. That basically means you're mounting between two surfaces. So, which being said, it doesn't matter if it's a house, a post, anything between two surfaces. Most manufacturers in the industry has a side track. Now, this side track does not have the ability to be able to screw into the side. And as we all know, or you don't know if you're not familiar with it, no post in the industry is square. So you could have a little bit off of, from top to bottom. So what I recommend is this track has to mount in between. And if your columns are out of square, whenever you get to measure, I recommend measuring across the top from surface to surface, the middle and the bottom. You take your narrowest measurement, and with your narrowest measurement, that means that your track will fit in between here, but you still need to take a deduction because a lot of manufacturers might provide a U-channel for their tracks, or Universal Screens uses an L bracket. With that L bracket, this is what you mount to the surface. This slides up all the way behind the housing to fill in any gap. So if it's an inch wider at the top than it is at the bottom, that gives you that 3/4 of an inch from the narrowest measurement to be able to fit your small of the L. As you can see here, there's a small L and a big leg between the side track and your L bracket and the wall with whatever screw head you put in here. So that would fill in any gaps that you might run into. Hopefully that makes sense, because whenever you mount this is going to run all the way up behind your housing to fill in any gap, and whenever you put it like this. Now, there's a misconception at the office, and we all discussed that. There's two ways to mount this L bracket. Now, Joe and them have ran into where they like to mount it between the side track and the wall. I like to flip it around backwards and mount it this way. So it gives me just a little bit more freedom to be off slightly on the measurements if you need to, but also it puts the screw heads to the outside of the porch. It just means there's two different ways to mount that. Every manufacturer has a different deduction also you need to be aware of. We are recommending 3/4 of an inch. You have to deduct that from your measurement. Be very, very precise. Universal Screens or any other manufacturer out there does not take any deductions for you. You have to put in what you want the shade to be made. So be very, very clear when you take your measurements. And I do this also when I take measurements. I write down my exact measurements. Then when I get back to the house or get in the truck, I can do my deductions at that time, take lots of pictures. The other thing I want to go over also is the fact of whether you're mounting to the bottom of the beam, to the face of the beam, it does not matter. So all of your, sorry, my AI came off again. Okay. The housing does not denote the installation. So if it's a between the jamb, that basically means that's where your tracks are running in between. That has nothing to do with where the hood and housing is. So with that being said, your hood and housing, whichever manufacturer you're going to be using, is going to be mounting to the bottom of the beam or to the face of the beam. Now, in this case, I had a dealer call me that had concerns. They were going out on a new call, and there's a lip. So there was a big lip up here that this track can't go all the way. And if I was to mount this up here, the track will never reach the fabric. So as you can see, I just mimicked what a trim board would be up at the top. This has a very big lip here at the bottom. So you see how that lip sticks out? Now, if you go out to a job and there's a lip like this, what you're going to need to do is do some kind of build out. Basically, you need the whole unit to come off the wall to clear this lip, because I don't recommend you having to trim this out. Now, if the homeowner wants to put their own wood or something like that up, that's fine. I don't recommend anybody trying to be a painter, match paints, stain anything to match, because it never will. But this is all going to be behind the housing. Now, if you want to mount up here, you got to make sure that your measurement. So I'm measuring that lip hanging off there, and that is exactly 1 inch. This trim is 3/4 of an inch. So you might not get the correct lineup. Now, if they don't want to cover this trim and you have to come down, because at this particular incident right here, I mean, we're at 9 inches from the bottom of that trim board to the bottom here. You might see a little bit of the pile showing when it's rolled all the way up, but if not, I would recommend using a piece of build out, or from the screen room industry, this is a piece of receiving channel. It is 1 inch deep by 2 inches wide. Now, one piece of this, I mean, you mount it behind, it's hard to hold it and drill through it and all that. What I usually do for easy is mount this all the way across the opening, okay? And then what you're going to do is take a second piece, it's a second piece, and you put them inside of each other. Now, inside of each other, I would recommend putting a couple of screws through this into the other one to hold them in place. And this gives you exactly 1 full inch of build out without having to worry about painting to match or anything, because you can order these in all the colors that matches Universal's housings. This is never going to be seen. So this is going to be up behind the housing, just so you know. Now, if you needed to get a little more, you can bring this out some. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. You can bring this out some, and I did it in 2 colors to help, transition, people be able to see what it is. You can bring this out about 1/2 inch or a little more. I don't recommend trying to put it too close to the end. Put some screws in it. Now you've got almost 1.5 inches of build out if you need to bring it off the wall. Now, what I'm saying is you put this up here, and as you can see right here, it's flush now with this. So now your track is going to go up, and your housing is going to mount to the face, and now it lines up correctly, so the fabric runs down through the tracks. Does this make sense to everybody? So basically, this has fabric in it. This is what a patio shade is. This has to have free flowing for this to come out of the housing and down into the side tracks. That's every manufacturer that has a side track system of any kind, whether it's a zipper, a keter, any of those that are out there. They have some kind of track system. It has to line up very specifically in order for it to roll down correctly. You need to measure this lip, take a bunch of pictures if you don't understand, send it to me, and I do not mind going over these things. I might not be able to do it while you're on the job site. Try, reach out to me and see if I am. I'm very, very busy doing a lot of Zoom calls with dealers, as well as doing a lot of traveling. So be very aware. This is available in the industry. If you need more than this, the 2x2 patio, which has a spline groove in it, we sell it as build out. You can slide this inside of a piece of receiving channel. So receiving channel basically means it receives whatever slides into it. This is 2 inches with 1 inch, and it's inside of it 1 inch. So with the screw heads, it might move it out slightly, but you can get 2.5 inches now. And then you can always come back and slide one of these over the face and get another 1/2 inch to 3/4. So you could get almost 3 inches of build out by doing this type of scenario. Hopefully this helps somebody. If you have any questions, please reach out. Exterior Shade Guru on the internet, or reach out to me by my email, and I don't mind answering any questions you might have. I hope this helps everybody. Have a great day.